Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review video, and it's my Christmas edition book review video. I did read one book that wasn't a Christmas book, but I really wanted to read it, so I added it into this one. Most of these books, except for one of them, well, two of them, have like 3 to 4 stories in them. So if I don't remember exactly what happens in each one, I might just tell you which ones I liked out of the set. So let's get started with this one. Now, this one I really liked. It was a cute type of book. It took place in during the Victorian era in England, and it's called A Harlequin Christmas Carol. It's by Benita Krahn, Jaquie Sandra, and Hope Tarr. And this is what it looks like. And basically, these 3 books all take place in the same group. It's called Haunted by Her Christmas Past. Oh, wait. What does it say in here what they're called? Okay, here's what they're really called. Yesterday's Bride, Today's Longing, and Tomorrow's Destiny. And these books all take place, like I said, in the Victorian era. It takes place with these friends who the one owns a bookshop, and they each have a guardian angel. And each guardian angel has to earn her wings by finding their person's, their woman's, I guess you could say it, true love. And if they don't fall in love by New Year's, they don't get a chance to get their wings until a century later. And basically, these books are really cute. I really liked them. The friends end up they always read A Christmas Carol during the holidays. So the angels end up with a brilliant idea of trying to become like each one of those ghosts, kind of, where the first one is the past, the second one is the present, and then the third one is the future. And each book is really cute. I really enjoyed them. So I'm not going to spoil the ending on if they got their wings or not. You guys have to read it for yourself. But most of these books that I got, except for two of them, came from like a flea market. My mom got me these books. So most of them are like 3 to 4 stories long, like I said. So this one is a 4-in-1 book, and this is called Jingle All the Way. It's by Fern Michaels, Linda Leigh Miller, Theresa Allen, and Jane Blackwood. And this is what it looks like. And most of these in this book I really enjoyed. Yeah, I really enjoyed these ones a lot. And most of them have a little bit of smut in them, so if you do not like that, you shouldn't read this one. So the first one was the one that I didn't like, and it was called The Red Ribbon Christmas. It was this girl who was traveling home for the holidays, and she ends up getting trapped in the snowstorm, and this guy's dog comes to rescue her. And it turns out that this dog is kind of like a service dog to this guy because he's in a wheelchair, and they end up like getting to know each other a little bit better. And then something happens where he has to get a surgery, and the surgery is supposed to correct what happened in an accident he had while he's in a wheelchair. And she basically just thinks that like he like didn't want to be with her anymore. He left her with his dog, and he wasn't around for so long that she basically was just like, oh, this guy like left the face of the planet, like he doesn't love me, stuff like that, all that stuff. So this next one is a cute story. It's the 24 Days of Christmas. The first one was by Fern Michaels. The second one is by Linda Laurel Miller, and it's about this man who is renting out this house to this woman that they grew up together, but they weren't brother and sister. And they used to have this little advent calendar that they used to do every Christmas, and the girl is raising her husband's son, and he's raising his daughter, and they're trying to get along for Christmas, and it's just a nice little story, to be honest. The next one was the one that I really didn't. It was an okay story. It wasn't like the favorite out of like the four. It was called Santa Unwrapped. It's by Theresa Allen. It's about this woman who falls in love with. It's kind of like the first story. She falls in love with a guy who's in a wheelchair, and he doesn't want to have a relationship with her because he doesn't think it'll work out because he's in a wheelchair. They can't obviously do certain things together that she would with somebody that wasn't in a wheelchair, but she really loves him, and he's trying to figure out, do I really want to love her or don't I? The last one is Maybe This Christmas. It's by Jane Blackwood. This story is about a woman. Hold on. I'm trying to read this. There's so many stories in this book that I'm trying to figure out which one is which. Okay, so this one, I don't really remember this one, but it's about this woman who gets a second chance at love. And I don't remember because there's another one that's like this, but I don't know if it's the same one. Cause there's one in one of the books where it's about this older woman who never had love or anything like that. She's kind of like a plain Jane type of woman, and she ended up um, getting these like secret admirer things. And here was this person in town to try and make her feel better, feel good about herself, that type of thing. But I don't think it's that one. It might be. I don't know. I've read a lot of these books, you guys. So this one is the least Christmas one of them all. It's called Thundercluck, Half Mortal, Half God, All Natural Chicken. It's by Paul Tillery the Fourth and Megan Wittwer. It looks like. I got this at Ollie's. It's kind of like a discounted store where you can find like all these random things. Basically, it's about Thor's chicken hatches an egg, and it's Thundercluck, um, who ends up being half chicken and magic, that type of thing. And he goes on this adventure with this girl who is like a Valkyrie warrior, like a maiden warrior, I think they call her. And it was a nice little book. This is the first one in the series. I just wanted to read it because I thought it was cute. I know this is more like a little kid book, but or like preteen type of book, but there was like little pictures in it. The chapters aren't that long. There's only 20 chapters, and there's 235 pages or something like that in this book, or 33 pages. And I really like it. It was a really cute book. Like, it makes me want to like read like the next one in the series. So yeah. The only thing about Ollie's is that when you find a book you like and it's in like a series, it's either like the first book in the series or it's like in the middle of the series. Because I bought another book from Ollie's one time that was like the second book in the series, and I don't know what's going on in the book. I started reading it and then I stopped because I'm like, I need to either get the first book or look up what happened in the first books for me to understand what happened and what's happening in this book. But yeah, and they usually don't have like all of the series there. Usually it's just like one or two or something like that. So this was the one that I liked the second best, I guess, my second favorite. And this is all takes place during the same time at a castle. It's just with different points of view from different couples that the story's about. So this is called Five Gold Rings. I don't know how you Constance Bayon, Stable, Peel, Lynsay, Sands, and Flora Speer. This is what it looks like. And basically, it all takes place during Christmas, the 12 nights, because I know they celebrate that, I think like in England or something. I don't really know when 12th night starts. I don't know if it starts on Christmas Eve, I don't know. But basically, it's all about the same group of people, just different points in the story where they find their love interest, and each book title is based on one of the lyrics from the 12 Days of Christmas. And the last one was my favorite. It was called Three French Hens. That one had the most like twisted ending in it, and it was kind of like in the beginning, I kind of called it out in my head. I was like, oh yeah, like this happens because of this. But it was a really nice story. I really liked it. There is a lot of graphic, or not graphic, but detailed smut in this book, in each one of these books or stories. So if you don't like it, you might want to skip that part. But basically, it was kind of like the same story over and over again with different characters. Like, they would fall in love with each other, they would do the deed, basically, and then they wouldn't want to be with each other, and then they wanted each other at the end, that type of thing. So this is another book. This one only had, oh no, this one had four stories in it. This is by, it's Secret Santa. It's by Fern Michaels, Marie Bostwick, Laura Levine, and Cindy Myers. This is what it looks like, and this is the one that had 4 in it. So this one, the first one is Mr. Christmas. It's by Fern Michaels, and it's about this woman who builds stuff for people. Her one client is in Ireland, and he's dying. And when she goes to meet him, it turns out that he wasn't dying. It was a thing where he wanted her to marry this guy, so that way they can have an heir and live in this castle and keep this castle or manor or something in the family. The next one, the Yellow Rose of Christmas. Okay, here's the one that I talked about previously. It's about this woman who's an older woman. She runs this like museum type of thing in this town, and she finds out she has a secret admirer, and it turns out that she thinks it's this guy who's new in town because it kind of all fits together for her. And then she ends up going to this Christmas ball. She gets like this nice dress and everything and stuff like that. And it was a really good book. That was by Marie Bostwick. This one is like, no, I think this one is like my favorite out of all of them, to be honest. This one, because this one is kind of like more like in the modern present type of thing. Okay, this is called Nightmare on Elf Street, and this is a series of books, and this is by Laura Levine. Oh, and oh no, never mind, I didn't get to that one yet. But this one is about this girl who, it's kind of different. It's actually a mystery book, and here she gets this job working in a mall as an elf for Santa. And this guy who plays Santa, dies in this accident, and she's trying to figure out who did it. And it was a good twist on who did it and why. So that one was really different. That's why I probably like this book a lot better. And then that one was by Laura Levine, and Room at the Inn is by Cindy Myers, and it's this couple gets stranded in Colorado, and this girl lets all these people that are stuck stay in her cabins, but they're summer cabins. And here they end up meeting this family who does this tradition of I forget what country they said they were from, but they do it in this country where they came from, where they do this thing where they go around the town, and they're like Mary and Joseph, looking for room in an inn to, have baby Jesus, all that stuff. And when they get to the last house says yes, and then they have like a kind of like a little festivity type party thing. So this one was really good. So this one I really didn't enjoy. I didn't like this one. This takes place in Victorian England as well. There's 5 stories in here. I think I just didn't like some of these stories because some of these stories didn't end like how a normal story would. So I don't know if they were just like abridged versions of each one of these stories. Like some of the stories kind of had an ending and the other ones didn't. It just ended in like a cliffhanger. So this is called Regency Christmas Wishes. It's by Sarah Heath, Emma Jameson, Carla Kelly, Edith Layton, and Barbara Metzger. And the one story in this book that I liked, but it didn't get an ending, this is what it looks like if I didn't show you guys, was this girl's sister was pregnant, and her husband died. I don't know if it was like in a war, I don't remember, but he died. And his brother comes back, to regain the dukedom or whatever his brother was, basically. And it's basically hinges on if this baby is a girl or a boy. So if it's a girl, he inherits everything, and if it's a boy, the baby inherits everything, that type of thing. And the girl the girl that he falls in love, not the pregnant girl, but the girl that he falls in love with is like hoping that the baby is a girl or boy or whatever, so that way like he can be with her and stuff like that. And there's another story in this book where it's basically this weird book where it's this newly wedded couple, and they ended up going to one of his mistress's houses for Christmas, and something happens to the girl there, and then they end up going to her family's place for Christmas, and he's trying to get into the spirit there because they all remember, oh, what Christmases were like before, but he doesn't because he's the newbie to this group. I'm trying to think of what the other ones were, but I don't. Okay, the first one was about this guy who needs money for his estate to pay everybody and to pay taxes on and stuff like that. And this guy gives him this lucky coin, and he wishes that he could find a woman who can bring more money to like more of a dowry, I don't know how you say it, to his place. That way he can pay what he needs to do, because his father left the farm like in debt. And the other ones, oh, and the Merry Magpie one I do remember. It was about this guy who he doesn't really like the marriage he's in, and he ends up getting a mistress, and this bird, the magpies, they like shiny things, so something drops out of his pocket and it ends up being something he was going to give to his mistress, and it was at the Christmas party, and his woman finds it, and stuff like that, and then it's years later, and he's trying to win her back, all that stuff. And I don't remember what the other ones were about, probably because I didn't really enjoy that book. But this one was a good book. This is a good book for like your kids. Basically, it's kind of like Toy Story in a way. I'm not saying it's exactly like Toy Story, but it's kind of like it. It's called The Christmas Pig, and it's by J.K. Rowling. It's illustrated by Jim Field. This is what it looks like. So it's more of like a kid book, kind of, but I'll read anything J.K. Rowling just because I liked Harry Potter. What else did she write? I like that one. There's another book that I have that I didn't read yet, or two of them, but this is like really good. Like it would make your kids want to read this, like, and in one night too. It's about this kid who loses his stuffed animal that he's had forever, and he ends up going on this journey to find his toy pig, and it's really good. It's kind of like a cross between Toy Story and the Nutcracker, kind of a little bit, but it was a really good book. There are pictures in this book, like I said, but this one was really good. So that's all I have for this book review video. This is a longer video than what I usually do, but I'll see you guys next time with another video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.